covered it on TC Live the other night. Basically, player hits ball into stands, someone catches ball, everyone's pumped. Umpire goes, give the ball back, and we'll give you another one later. Like, it's an unforced error. So I wrote down like a quick hitter list, and then we're going to let you go here, John, because I know you got a place to go, people to see. Number one, let people keep a foul ball in tennis. People are like, oh, they don't all play the same. Yeah, then listen, we've done it many times. If someone hits a ball out of the stadium, you replace it. Not the same, not the exact same, but it's a temporary problem because you switch balls every, however many handful of games anyways. One that I feel strongly about is the behind the court view more often during broadcasts. So like this eagle eye view, you can't see spin. You don't get a feel for footwork as much as you should. That kind of like just above the player from behind the court, I think showcases the athleticism in tennis, maybe more than anything else. So I'd like to see more of that. I'll run through this. Oh, this is a home game because I'm an investor and they've been a sponsor and hopefully will be again. Swing Vision on practice courts. So like actual data readouts of how hard Carlos Alcaraz and his spin rates, but on like court P6 of the US Open, right? So you're getting actual, but also those things. So then if you get the same thing, you can actually in real time compare and contrast what you're doing as an amateur, what I'm doing as an amateur on my club game, which by the way, didn't break anything this morning. So Swing Vision on practice courts, like actual data sets of how hard people are hitting for conversation pieces. It literally costs like $200 a year per court and like a pogo stick that you put it on top of, a little cheaper than ShotSpot.
Yeah, golf has leaned into that really well, I think.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I could watch guys hit balls in the range because it's just that they, okay. Varied court surface speeds. Let's make some weeks crazy fast, some weeks, they're already incredibly slow. Ball and string regulation, there needs to be, like one ball can't be extremely different from the next ball. Like I'm not telling you to have the same exact ball from two different producers, but there needs to be like a general set of guidelines. Now, like a stent meter in golf, right? There is a general understanding of what a fast green is and a way to measure it, okay? Those regulations.
Yeah, could you imagine if you went to Yankee Stadium and played with a different baseball, and then you had to go play with the Cincinnati Reds next, and they had like a completely different ball?
You had 2 weeks with one, and then you switched. John, what else, and what are your observations about that?
I don't know if I would be thrilled to practice on site if there was readily available data, but that's a good. I like those. I like those a lot, and I think some of those go to health and fitness. Some of those go to optics. I like anything. This is the term the Tennis Channel can edit out, but how often to the general public is tennis seen as the sport of the douche canoe? Right? If you watch any movie you watch, how do you know you're watching? When they have a tennis playing scene in Succession, when they have a tennis playing scene in the GameStop movie, what do we know? That guy is a rich douchebag, right? Anything tennis can do. I'm being serious. You guys are laughing. This is not the comedy portion of the show.
I fully understand what you're saying, but it's absolutely correct. It's amazing. Everyone still wears like 70s shorts right now.
Anything that could mitigate and minimize that, right? So I want festival seating. I want squatters' rights. I hate that the best seats courtside that are taken up by the law firm and the private equity firm, and there's no one sitting there. Anyone should be entitled to an empty seat. Things like exactly.
But if any of those law firms want to sponsor the show,
yeah, exactly.
We're available. We like you then.
Now that we've opened it up to squatters' rights. Now that
and you're not a douche.
By the way, I don't know if I'd want that after seeing that guy get hit in the nuts from Sinners.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw that.
I don't know if I want courtside.
And just to be very clear, none of our future sponsors are douche canoes, just the other ones.
Exactly. But anything that makes tennis seem a little cooler, I'm in favor of. Producer Mike has an MMA background. What if we had, how MMA, they've got fight of the night and knockout of the night. They've got, submission
with
of the
cash
night.
Bonuses. Yeah, they should do that.
Nightly bonuses. $1,000
nightly bonuses, like cash bonuses.
That's cool.
That'd be incredible.
That's fun.
Shout of the day, cash bonus. Everyone can watch it and go viral. Everyone can vote online. Players ought to make a bonus for one of these clips. Can we do a little better at?
We're gonna do that.
Medvedev won his match last night. I'm in Europe. It's too late. I wake up. I can't find you. Literally, Google Daniil Medvedev to find out how he did. And you can't get winners and unforced errors. We got to step it up in the data department, guys. You watch an NBA game, you get a heat map of where the guy who's the 12th man is shooting his 6 shots. You can't get Daniil Medvedev's forehands and unforced errors.
There are
what else?
There are better data metrics available to players. So the swing vision thing wouldn't stress me out. I mean, I guess it's just for public consumption, so it's different. But like Jim Courier's a master of mining data to make his point. So it is available somewhere out there, just not at scale, which is where it should be available. But I guess my point is, like, even if you're a practice court, those data metrics are probably available to players. I can find out. We know that, RPMs, it's Casper Ruud and Nadal are the leaders always. That comes from somewhere. The data is out there. So I don't think I think the swing vision would just be additive as far as like people watching, in being able to look at it. And hey, maybe even, maybe we could even handle winners and errors. I don't know.
Like, I'll give you one more before we bounce real quick. Remember you watch like an old newsreel and they're like, oh, Jim Brown was king of the gridiron, or, Larry Bird was a hoopster. And no one used that term anymore. So, we're not banning language, but language evolves and terms evolve and they get hip. Can we do something about tennis terminology? I feel like
douche canoe?
Yeah. Deuce and yeah, exactly. But you bring a friend and you say, imagine your hip 19-year-old, you say, oh, they won the tie because they won the deuce point. And they say, what are you talking about? Can we do something to sort of upgrade the language and make it a little more hip as other sports have? That's all I got.
I can see the intro now on BBC for Wimbledon coverage this year. And welcome to Wimbledon. This match is going to be straight fire. All right, get out of here, JW. Thanks for coming on,
Facts. Man. Prove that. All right, see you, boys.